Monday was rainy. A clammy, constant drizzle oozed from tobacco-colored clouds. Cars and vans released vapid steam onto the pavement and left oil slicks mixed carelessly and colorfully. Traffic lights were blurred, pixelated behind wipers and fog. Drivers were uncertain when to proceed at four-way stops, each blinking through the windshield for affirmation, approval from their fellow commuters. The tall man parked in a side lot at 7 Mile and Lasher and blustered toward the front of the strip mall. Without a raincoat, he winched up the collar of his light jacket, shoulders hunched to his ears. He seemed to slip between the raindrops. He swung open the restaurant door, stomping into the vestibule. His jacket was slick, and rain puddled around the cuffs of his tan pressed slacks. A paper dragon lantern hung above his head, and stacks of Metro Times were piled on the wet, grimy floor beneath a tarnished brass coat rack. The man did not remove his jacket. He opened the second door and shuffled into the bustling eatery. His appointment was easy to spot, sitting in a booth and facing straight ahead. The seated man did not wave when his appointment arrived. The new arrival quickly joined the other at his table. He slid into the booth opposite the other gentleman, who had removed his trench coat and wadded it up beside his hip. Clad in black, the young waitress sashayed to their table. She had a square Korean face, wore thick black eyeliner, and pale pink lipstick. "You want coffee too?" She nodded toward the half-full mug of weak-looking Java in front of the first person seated. "Hot tea," the second man responded, never looking at her. "Take a look at the menu," suggested the waitress, but he ignored her and the flimsy paper menu, printed in black and red on white paper. He was not there for the almond boneless chicken. The restaurant was noisy and filling swiftly with the noonday rush. The air inside smelled of fried meats and dough, oolong tea, rain-soaked outerwear, and the heady scent of CK1 from the table of 6 drowsy hipsters at their right. Someone at that table lit a jarm, and the dim sum boy came rolling along with his rattling cart. "What do you—" the second man grumbled, then interjected, correcting himself before the other could respond. "What do I get?" The waitress returned and poured the tea, its flowery perfume reminding the man who had been waiting in the booth of his stint in Vietnam and a little cafe in Nha Trang. He answered the question with a question. "What do you want?" He was prepared to give something to get what he really wanted. This was a long time coming. The meeting lasted barely 11 minutes. The second man asked the waitress for 2 almond cookies. He fumbled them from the china plate as soon as she dropped it at the table. He slipped his hand into his pocket, pulled out his keys, and slid from the booth. "Fine," he nodded in agreement. He walked away satisfied, crumbling the cookies into his mouth. He slipped again into the rain and the dreary summer day.